Ladies, we are here tonight on the show. And tonight we got some wrestling news. Nick Khan today supposedly had a meeting with all WWE employees. A lot of WWE employees have been fearing that ever since the company got bought out by Evander, that they're going to get a lot of people going to lose their jobs because a lot of the positions that they do in WWE, Evander already has somebody doing that, so they were worried they're going to get fired. But they thought that this meeting with Nick Khan could result in people getting fired, but no, he just said that it was more of a to get people's confidence up and congratulate everybody with how good the company's been doing lately. So we'll see what happens, but as of right now, no cuts. They've been saying that we're gonna have a bunch of cuts after WrestleMania. I mean, it's been like a month now. That has not been the case. It's been like 5 weeks. So we'll see what happens. In the past, WWE used to release a bunch of people after WrestleMania. It would be the draft. They would bring a bunch of people out from NXT, and the people that they were not using at all on the main roster would just fire them. But that was not the case this year, despite obviously having the draft and bringing up a bunch of NXT calls up. They still have they have not cut anybody. So we'll see what happens. Finally, like most USA Network and Fox, obviously they were on the news for WWE because WWE did not appear on their lineup for 2024. Now today, I believe Warner Bros. Discovery did their lineup for 2024, where Collision appeared. Obviously, Dynamite as well, because Warner Bros. Discovery and AEW have agreed to a TV deal, so that's why they appeared. And it revealed that for sure on June 17, AEW Collision will debut on TNT. It will be a 2-hour show from 7 to 9. It reveals that both Thunder Rosa and Andrade will be on that show, so they will be making their comeback. The other person that believes that, I guess they don't want to ruin it right now, but is expected to be obviously on that show is CM Punk. But as of right now, he's not being advertised. But the plan is obviously he will also be on that show. WWE Roman Reigns. What's going on here? Hold on, I'm skipping. Oh no, it's here. So Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins is filming a movie, and now supposedly WWE is not so sure about naming him world champion because the reason the last few weeks, this week and this upcoming week coming up, they're having these interview with Corey Graves is because this was filmed in advance because Seth Rollins was neither on this week's Monday Night Raw and he's not expected to be on next week's Monday Night Raw. So WWE's a little bit worried with the buildup between him and AJ Styles for their match at Night of Champions. And now WWE's starting to wonder if it was because of Seth Rollins missing some shows now to go film this movie, if it was the right decision to have Seth Rollins put in this position to have the match with AJ Styles. Maybe they should have chosen somebody else, maybe like Finn Balor or somebody else. But apparently, to reports, Seth Rollins is Triple H's number one guy. But we don't know what Vince McMahon has to say about this, and he'll probably have the final say. But I still think Seth Rollins will win the title. Like I said, if I'm Seth Rollins, I'm like, you know what? Thank you guys for this movie. I don't know how it works because if he did sign a contract, maybe he can get out of the contract. But if there's any possibilities of Seth Rollins just saying, you know what, I appreciate this, but right now I want to stay focused on WWE, I would just leave the movie and just focus on WWE, honestly, man. This guy has worked so hard. And it's just bad luck, man, that finally he has a chance to be world champion, and at the same time, he gets a chance to be on a movie. But to me, it's like, unless you cannot get out of the contract because you signed to film a movie, I would try to get out of that shit, APP, man, as soon as possible and just go back to WWE, man. Now, I mean, I guess they could give it to AJ Styles and just have AJ along with the original club move over to Raw. They could do that if they really feel like it. They could do that if they just don't feel comfortable with Seth Rollins moving forward because of this movie. I don't know how long it's going to take to film this movie, right? I don't know if he's going to go Night of Champions, win the title, and then miss the next week because he's filming the movie again. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Seth Rollins in his movie and if it affects him being world champion. They're saying Roman Reigns. No, hold on. I keep skipping. Trish and Becky Lynch. So they're gonna have this match at Night of Champions, but supposedly the feud will continue. So probably something's gonna happen. Maybe Trish Stratus gonna cheat or something. But they're saying this will only be the first match of the feud between them two. The plan is for the feud to continue between Becky and Trish. And finally, Roman Reigns, yes. Roman Reigns has been put on the Money in the Bank card. He was not advertised to be in Money in the Bank, but as of right now, Roman Reigns has been advertised. You know, a lot of people are saying that maybe what's going to happen is the Usos are going to screw Solo, so calling Roman Reigns out of the tag team champions and Night of Champions. So it's going to lead to Roman Reigns and a Solo Sokola, Roman Reigns versus the Usos and Money in the Bank. That's what a lot of people are saying. That could potentially even lead up to Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam. That's what a lot of people are thinking. So we'll see what happens. But a lot of people are saying this upcoming pay-per-view, Night of Champions, could be the night where they officially take the Usos away from the bloodline. So we'll see what happens. The video game Fight Forever, they've been working on this video game for 3 years. Apparently, it is finally ready to go. It is completed, and to believe it can come out as soon as this summer. So that's good. They've been working on this for 3 years. So it finally looks like it's going to be able to come out. And final, Rampage did terrible. They did like 200,000 views, the worst rating in its history. And this show is expected to just become like it's going to be the new version of Dark Avalator. Obviously Collision is going to be the SmackDown. Dynamite's going to be the Raw, and this show's going to be like main event for this show. Like, I'm surprised with the new deal coming up with Warner Bros. Discovery. I'm surprised they just didn't take the show off and just say, you know what, let's just have Dynamite on Friday on Wednesdays and Collision on Saturdays. But I think they want to keep this show because I think they want to use all like the mid-card / jobbers on this show. I think it's a way to put them on. And also, like I said, WWE loves, I think you battled on, AEW loves to invite a bunch of like independent wrestlers to try to get a tryout. So maybe that's what they did a lot with Dark Evolution. So maybe that's what they're going to do with this show, Rampage. They're just going to try to use it also to like, hey, we're in Kentucky. There's a local wrestler here in Kentucky. I heard he's really good. Let's give him a tryout match at Rampage. So maybe that's why they want to keep the show, to see if they can continue to try out younger wrestlers to see if in the future it's worth signing them. That's the only reason I can think of why they would want to keep Rampage. And also maybe some of the mid-carders / jobbers don't complain about not being on TV. They can just put them on Rampage. Because at the end of the day, this show, even though it's not until 10 o'clock, this show is still on TNT, right? It's still on TV. So you can't be put on this show and then complain about not being on TV because you're literally on TV. So maybe that's also a strategy by Tony Khan when somebody starts complaining about not being on TV, like, oh, well, just put it on Rampage. And then you can't complain about not being on TV. And you can complain about being on the shitty show, but you can no longer complain about not being on TV when you get put on Rampage. I believe that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, holla.